Domination is the only word that can describe this duo this season. Welcome back to Championship Court. You're taking a live look at Parris. Todd, her and her partner, Simone Jardim, have been perfect on the APP Tour this season in terms of coming through the winner's bracket. And here they are again at the 2023 APP Newport Beach Open in the semifinals. What is it about this duo that makes them so hard to beat?
I mean, it's the communication, it's the practice. We've talked about it before, Chad and I, about how pickleball, the landscape of pickleball has changed in the fact that the teams that play together, practice together, win together. And it's a simple formula, but it's kind of not well known so far yet in pickleball as far as that goes. But Jardim and Todd practice together usually, and so they're very familiar with each other. And the thing of it is, though, is they're not complacent. They've won 6 of 6 gold medals, but it's not been the same way more than maybe twice. They're changing things up, adding things, adding weapons, and it just makes them such a dominant team.
And today they are taking on Alix Truong and Vivian Glozman, who are trying to unseat the queens here in women's doubles. What is it going to take for Glozman and Truong to get it done? What do they have to lean into about their game?
Well, I mean, we talk about it every time going against Todd and Judging. You have to play clean pickleball. If errors creep into your game, they're just going to be so consistent that they're going to beat you. Now, with Glozman and Truong, they do have the ability to be aggressive and really put some pressure on, but they're going to have to take those calculated risks. If they're trying to force the issue of being aggressive, then they're going to elevate balls, and both Todd and Jardim are going to put the big swings on those elevated balls. If they can kind of stay in somewhat of an extended point, fight off some of the speed-ups coming from Todd and Jardim, and put themselves into a situation where they can get that ball down and force the issue for Todd and Jardim to speed up on the not so great balls, then they're going to come out on top.
So it is a tall task ahead for Alix Truong and her partner Vivian Glozman, but they certainly have the confidence to believe that they are up for it. So that match is our next one here on Championship Court at the APP Newport Beach Open. You can see Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim getting warmed up here. Simone, someone that everyone in the pickleball world just has so much respect for. I was talking with Parris a few weeks ago, and she just talked about how it's such an honor to get to play with Simone. She feels like she learns something from her every single time they come out and play, and certainly looking to extend their winning streak here today. Beautiful day for pickleball here in Newport Beach. As previously mentioned, not too hot, not too cold, just right. And we've had a great crowd here at Championship Court. They've been in for some treats. We just got to see Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr punch their ticket into the semifinals. And now it's a question of who will join them there. We're going to find that out as soon as these players done warming up. Is there anybody in this tournament so far who's really surprised you on the women's side in the doubles?
Well, I'll kind of take a little bit of what you're going with, and that surprised me, but someone who not a lot of people have seen a lot of, but there's been a lot of talk of, and that's who you're going to see right here in Vivian Glozman. And a great player, came on the scene fairly new to the scene. A lot of talk about her, and I've talked with her at length. Super sweet girl, great head on her shoulders, knows where she's at in the game. But the talk of her, at a very, very high level hasn't been proven yet. I want to see a body of work from her. And again, today is a good proving ground for her. You're playing against the top team on the APP Tour, one of the top teams in the game. And right now, this is a proving ground for her to see where she's at. But all the talk about, where she's at in her game, it's got to get proven on the court, because talk is cheap. You have to prove it out there on the court and between the lines. And this is a great opportunity for her to prove that.
If you want to be the best, you have got to beat the best. And here in women's doubles on the APP Tour, it is no doubt you are looking at the best in Simone Jardim and Parris, Todd. So we are getting ready to get underway here You see some strategy talk, and that's one of the things that we always notice when Todd and Jardim are paired up is just the communication is just always on point. They make those adjustments like you mentioned, Dom, and here we go. Play underway here at Championship Court.
So this is going to be the difference maker, too, because Glozman, we've seen her before, playing the right side. That's not her strong side. The side she's on with Truong right now, the left side, that is her strong side.
Yeah, I like the aggression from Truong there, but coming over and it's such a tall task because if you don't finish it, then you put yourself and your partner in such a tough position.
Well, it looks like the game plan here for Glozman and Truong is to swing from your heels and let's go at them.
0-0-1, Todd with the serve.
That ball rolled about 6 inches on top of the net, but does not roll over for Glozman.
So much power in those swings.
I was backing away.
Yeah.
As she went to pull the trigger right there. That's a huge swing. But ball just a little too low.
Okay, Simone.
Okay.
With the tweener there so seamlessly.
Yeah, it was a good ball from Truong that actually caught Jardim off guard. But the tweener pulling that one out.
I'm still sitting back going, what in the world? I mean, it was just so casual, too.
It was almost like that's the only way the ball could have been hit. That's why Simone hit it that way.
Yeah, good counter attack there from Truong. The lob used by Jardim. Glozman with the backhand flick.
Such a good angle there from Jardim as it's a beautiful setup on the cross-court thing from Parris. Todd pulls Glozman all the way off the court.
0-3-2, Glozman with the serve.
So part of the difference and what you'll notice, right, is Todd and Jardim aren't as powerful, as powerful as Glozman and Truong combined, but their placement and their positioning is so much more advanced that the power differential is not as big of a factor.
Placement over power.
Exactly.
That's it. Got to have some kind of power, right?
Yeah.
It's not that Jardim and Todd don't, but I agree with you there 100%, Chad, and it's placement over power is the name of the game here.
Jardim with the serve. 3-0 in game one.
Yeah, good spot there from Glozman. Jardim taking a step back off the line. Todd a little bit late on that ball toward the middle. I'm surprised Todd didn't speed that one up.
Yeah, both you and I are looking at each other.
I mean, that's a ball chest high that she just
reset
slides
to the middle.
Reset, yeah.
That one from Todd, just a bit long, so it puts Truong and Glozman on the board here in game one. 1-3 with Truong for the serve.
Such a good angle right there from Jardim, and that's just a veteran at work. Again, it's that when you're hitting those overheads, if you hit those overheads back to the baseline, those are all coming back. It's about, can you get the ball to the sideline and create an angle?
So that's another ball that we've seen here. I've seen it over the last couple of days, especially here on center court. The ball is not coming up as much as these players are anticipating. It's kind of sliding a little bit more.
Ooh, Glozman swung at it, but it goes over her or under her paddle and goes long.
So it'll be Parris Todd with the serve, 3-1-2.
A good heavy topspin ball there from Glozman. Forces that ball to come out flat off of Todd's paddle.
Simone's forehand into the net.
It's a tough speed up right there because it's at the high part of the net. So it's really tough to get that ball up and over rather than just reset that hard cross court.
Strong forehand there from Alix Truong.
Yeah, Todd trying to keep them back in that situation. I think she's just got to put a ball down, especially with Truong coming forward, force her to try to hit up from that transition area.
Three, 3-2 for Truong.
Ill-advised speed up right there from Alix Truong. You're going right to the forehand of Simone Jardim. She's going to punish you on that.
Yeah, and they had control of that point right there, putting the pressure things on Todd.
Ooh, Glozman
Hands in the
getting
crowd.
some work.
Throw back a little
defense.
bit to be desired, but can't see that on camera.
What we can see, though, this speed up and firefight here between Todd and Glozman, just showcasing the hands on the court.
Yeah, that is not coming back right there. And that's why, Chad, you and I have seen Vivian Glozman playing the right side. You lose her forehand if you're sitting her on the right side because on the outside, on the sideline, you put her in the middle here, and that's dangerous. And I like her backhand dink better than her forehand dink, too. But right there, I don't like the lob. As that ball does not get up and over, and Todd's going to punish that.
Not quite high enough on that one.
Glozman trying to keep Todd back.
So we're all squared at 3. Todd and Judging now have a 3-point lead, and it comes down to what we talked about at the beginning of this one. In order for Truong and Glozman to have a chance, they have to play clean. They just had 3 errors right there in a row, so it's a good timeout, but they've got to clean that play up.
Let's take a look at one of the moments of the match so far. Simone Jardim with the oh-so-casual tweener.
Yeah, Truong wasn't expecting that either. I mean, she was on that ball, but then swings up and puts that one deep. But like you said, that's kind of the only spot for Jardim to go. Otherwise, it hits her in the body.
As you see Simone Jardim right there. But, yeah, Chad, you hit it right on the head when we talk about that. Playing clean, having to play clean for Glozman and Truong. And, again, it was 3-3, and in the blink of an eye now, it's 6-3. Todd and Jardim doubling up Glozman and Truong.
So a good timeout is the consensus from the booth for Truong and Glozman, because we always talk about how many points do you let go by before you call that timeout. And against Simone Jardim and Parris Todd, you do not want to let them get on a seamless swing here in this first game. It's so important to make sure that you come out strong.
Well, I think early on it's kind of that 3 to 4. You know, if we're getting closer toward the end of the game, then it's potentially a 2 to 3 point run.
So we are picking it up here in game 1. Parris Todd getting ready to serve. 6-3-2 here at Championship Court.
Much better job of controlling the forehands there by Truong and Glozman, as like Truong stepping off the kitchen line there and pulling the forehand, but at about 60%. Beautifully done at the feet.
Yeah, again, Truong getting too big on that backhand side. She's trying to add a little too much power. And taking that ball late, you'll see her take it a little deep here. That ball flattens out. It's always going to go up.
So it's a side out here, Todd, with the serve.
Well, that ball sailed.
Bit.
That one kicked up a little bit more than she was anticipating. The one before stayed down. This one kicked up. Well,
two in a row right here, and you'd think we're in Denver, Colorado with the ball carrying so much right now, but
instead we're just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean and the marine layer, if anything.
Oh, geez.
Creeping in. And that's something you don't see very often.
But this is
I'm sorry. Todd's trying to get ahead right there and just run straight into the drop of Jardim.
Jardim was still laughing as she just hit that forehand. Couldn't believe she did that with Todd. Here it is again. Oh, and the missed forehand right there from Jardim, but Todd was cheating a little too early and not allowing Jardim to go cross court with that
it cuts
drop.
off the cross court when you go too far in front. Yeah, tough spot to speed up there from Jardim. Kind of puts Todd in a difficult position.
Take another look at it here. Glozman with the serve.
Yeah, good drive there from Glozman. Todd catching that one back behind the body.
See her run around to get to the backhand instead of the forehand. Oh, that's just too good right there from Jardim, and that's just a veteran move right there. She's sensing Glozman pinching middle. Watch her just inside out that, and you see Glozman was leaning just to her forehand.
5-8-2 for Truong's serve.
Ooh. Jardim got away with one there. Floated it. Again, Truong getting too big on the backhand side.
So Truong and Glozman get a few before ball goes back to Jardim and Todd.
And that ball skips away from Glozman because Jardim puts topspin on it.
roll.
Glozman did not read the topspin well enough. What a good read there from Parris Todd on the speed up here from Jardim. Sitting in the middle all over that forehand.
Yeah, she's got big on two forehands in a row right now, trying to add a little too much power. Just needs to cut that swing in half, start with that paddle out in front. Glozman and Truong still finding it tough to get into a rhythm. Oh, landing in.
Let's get jammed up right there and just kind of miss-hit, drop. Let's just fight it off right there from Glozman. Beautifully done. She'll take it.
What an angle by Todd.
Again.
Response by Glozman. And then Todd too big on that return.
Before that ball even landed, Parris Todd was walking to her sideline calling a timeout as a nice run here from Glozman and Truong.
Yeah, and that's the difficult position, right? When you're trying to overhit, you're trying to kill that ball so it doesn't come back. You catch it too far back behind the body. And once you get into that position, whether it's a forehand, whether it's an overhead, you can't get that ball back down into the court.
So a timeout called here. Glozman and Truong, like you said, struggling a little bit to find some rhythm, but what they are doing pretty well is when the ball gets back on their side of the court, they're chewing away at that lead, just 1 point at a time, not trying to get it all back in one fell swoop, which, Dom, as you always say, you can't do. You have to stay focused on 1 point at a time, and it does seem like they're doing that pretty well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it's 1 point at a time. Don't try and get too many in bunches. Just battle back. And from both sides of the ball, though, Chad, do you agree with me that it hasn't been the cleanest?
No.
From both sides.
Yeah, both sides are kind of struggling as far as consistency-wise.
But now you have, I give the advantage, again, to Todd and Jardim as the veterans trying to clean that up a little sooner and quicker. But again, Glozman and Truong on a nice little run here on second serve. That's such a good finish there from Alix. Truong just going all aggressive there in the middle. Change her mind?
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, I thought she was going to speed that one up cross court. She tried to go down the line behind Todd, and by the time she changed direction of the paddle, it was too late.
Do get themselves back within 1 point here in game one. Jardim and Todd, 2 points away from that critical 11, make it 1.
Yeah, I think for Glozman right there, she's got to take that ball cross court or at least make it bounce in the kitchen. She's trying to keep Jardim back off of a good drop. Not able to do that one.
So another timeout called here on the court with a game point opportunity for Jardim and Todd. They're up 10-8 here in game one. And with the serve, if you're Truong and Glozman, what are you talking about in this timeout?
First and foremost, great timeout. No hesitation. They get 10. Boom, call that timeout after you just came back. Don't let them try and go and add and actually win the game. Call that timeout. But now, here what I want to do, I want to get back into it. I'd like to, hey, not for nothing. You're playing with house money here against the 1 seed. You're at 10-8. I'd like to see Truong just stay aggressive. Stay aggressive. Give yourself an opportunity here. That's how they got back in this, was playing aggressively, not playing passively and kind of waiting for something to come to them. They're creating their own points here, and that's what I want to see them do here to get back in this.
Simone Jardim with the serve. Game point opportunity for her and Parris Todd in our semifinal.
Oh, and I do like it right there. And Jardim thought it was out initially. So did I. But it looks like it may have dropped down at the baseline.
Oh, it just went off. Just went off screen. We couldn't see that one.
Must have been good.
The speed up there from Simone Jardim rings true, drops inside the baseline. And so it is game one going to Parris Todd and Simone Jardim. While the players take a break before game two, we are going to take a look at our Vlasic Instant Classic, what was in New York City.
in the heart of the fire and rose out of it. Walk through the valley of giants with no fear. Try to throw rocks at the sun, I'm still here. Right now! Right now! Diamonds under the pressure, I'm still shining, huh? Storming in by force, I want violence, yeah. Please give me a challenge, I can't find it. I'm unstoppable, I'm a legend, I'm iconic, yeah.
Welcome back to the 2023 APP Newport Beach Open. Game 1 of this semifinal going to Simone Jardim and Parris Todd. But Alix Truong and Vivian Glozman putting up a strong fight there, trying to take down the best on the APP. You certainly are going to have to do that. So Truong getting ready for the serve here in Game 2 after falling 11-8 in Game 1.
Ball just wide off the paddle of Glozman.
Strong ball there.
I mean, that's
Glozman.
effortless power right there. Nice, short, compact, just a quick acceleration. And Todd saying, well, I can do it too.
Exactly. And again, it's the speed up from Glozman right there, and Todd just not getting big at all. Just short and compact, punching that ball back down through the middle.
Yeah, I got called for a push off there from Glozman.
So it's a quick 2-0 lead here for Jardim and Todd.
Oh, that's disgusting right there from Jardim.
She comes forward and she sets up like she's going to rip it right in front at Truong. Glozman kind of takes middle, and Jardim just goes inside out forehand, catches the line, and no way for Glozman to catch up to it.
That was all or nothing right there from Todd as she came right over, and Jardim and Todd were in I formation.
4-0-2. Good placement there by Truong. Paints the sideline, forcing the side out.
Todd looking at Jardim going, was it in? Was it out? Again, it's just how many tools do you have in your toolbox right there from Jardim, because now she waits to see Glozman leaning to the sideline, and she just goes, okay, now I'll flip middle.
Well, that's the difficulty of that dead dink. It gives way too many options. It's in.
Some love off the tape there from Truong.
Hear Todd yelling to Jardim, go, but she was already leaning back, anticipating the speed up.
Puts Truong and Glozman on the board.
Yeah, Jardim didn't do enough with that forehand there. Truong stepped up, put a tough ball into the body of Jardim.
An attempted really tough drop third where she doesn't hit it too high, trying to hit a nice flat third, but doesn't get enough underneath it. I like the attempt, though, from Glozman. That's easy power. Easy power right there from Jardim.
It's all about the spot there, too. She goes right hip on Truong, knowing that she's sitting back in. She's going to try to come across, and as she comes across, that paddle is going to continue going. She catches the paddle.
Feels like Todd and Jardim starting to get on a bit of a roll here, find that rhythm, and Truong and Glozman feeling it too, and they say, we're going to call a timeout real quick.
Yeah, they've come out a lot more aggressive here in game two, but they're picking better balls and better spots to speed up. But Glozman and Truong are also giving them a lot of those dead balls that aren't putting any pressure on. Yes, they're down, but they're just sitting up. And like we saw earlier, it gives so many options and so much time to be able to sit and read and figure out which direction that they're going to go.
Well, this is a team, a veteran team, sitting on an 11-8, not very clean game one, coming in during the 2-minute interchange between games one and two, talking about what we need to do, formulating a game plan, and making that adjustment. And that's what it's all about at this level is, can you make the in-game adjustments immediately? And you're seeing Todd and Jardim doing that instantly here in game two.
Truong and Glozman talking it over, what it's going to take for them to get back into this game, trailing by 4. And Parris Todd with a chance to extend that lead as we speak.
Such a good spot there from Vivian Glozman going backside on Parris Todd. Still have one more hold here, though, before they get that side out.
Yeah, a good exchange there from Glozman and Truong. Jardim getting caught a little bit too much middle there. Went back behind herself.
2-6-1, Truong with the serve.
Wow.
Jardim with the lob to back Glozman up, but good response there.
You lobbed the 6-footer because Glozman's every bit of 5'11", 6 foot. She's very tall and I was standing next to her.
She's 6 foot,
She's
6'1".
Yeah, easily. And Jardim made it look easy.
Impressive defensive stand there from Glozman and Truong, and then Todd just flips that one off the tape and out of bounds.
I mean, that's a tough speed up there from Todd because if this ball doesn't go body on Glozman, that ball's going way out and clips the tape and goes way out. Great job there from Jardim, holding that ball on her paddle long enough to make Truong commit to the middle, and she goes backside on her.
4-6-2 here for Vivian Glozman with the serve.
They do answer, though. Get 2 back here. Was 6-2, now 6-4 after that timeout.
Glozman letting out a squeal as that one goes wide.
Oh, she went for the control aspect and went cross-court with it, but just pushed it a little wide.
7-4-1, Todd with the serve. And that speed up on the forehand from Simone Jardim, so difficult to defend.
Well, again, she reads the low ball is going to get popped up, and she just jumps on this like a cat coming forward and punishes that forehand.
Oh, you saw how quickly that ball kicked up once it caught the court. Heavy topspin there from Glozman. Whoa.
I mean, the speed up from Jardim, but it was almost a, I have to speed this up because it got on her so quick. Right at her feet there, and then able to still control the next ball. Much better job there from Parris, Todd, coming in, out overhitting that.
Sets up a match point here, for Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim. Timeout called on the court as you have Truong and Glozman trailing 10-4 in this second game. They dropped the first game 8-11. What is the conversation in this timeout?
Oh, I mean, they've got to get back to it. So Jardim and Todd haven't played the cleanest pickleball. However, when they do make some errors, it's a maximum of 2-3 in a row, and then the adjustments made. For Glozman and Truong, it's been the opposite, where they've had 4 or 5 errors in a row before they've made that adjustment, or trying to do a little too much. We saw in the last couple of points where they're trying to keep them deep, but you're trying to keep them deep of a ball that's below the net. So I think, look to extend these points right here, but if you are going to be aggressive, choose the right ball.
First and foremost, you have to defend this match point here. Simone Jardim with the serve.
I don't mind it at all because, she's very good at speeding that ball from a low position, going at the body of Truong right there, just clips the tape. And at 10-4, I like the opportunity.
An excellent point put together there, but then Truong sends that into the net.
Truong screaming and yelling at Glozman to go at least 3 times in that point.
Impressive defense by Glozman to get to all of the ones. But that one at the feet of Truong, just very difficult to defend. So it sets up another match point opportunity. Number 2 here for Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim. The aggressive move forward from Truong there.
So Truong took off as soon as Jardim let Todd hit that and bounce it. Watch Truong just take off for the kitchen line. So smart.
But that will do it. Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim are moving on yet again in our women's doubles bracket. They are on to the winners bracket final, taking down Vivian Glozman and Alix Truong. We will hear from the winners when we come back.
This is the last bottle of Fat Tire. The last of over 750 million bottles ever made. The last of a beer icon. And this is Doug, who hasn't a clue. So he's just doing Doug things. Dang it, Doug! Anyway, we've changed our recipe. Crisper, brighter, still carbon neutral. This is the first of an all-new Fat Tire.
Simone Jardim and Parris Todd are on to the winners bracket final. This is the classic firefight of the match. Some good ones between these two teams. That one, Truong and Glozman getting the better of, but it is Todd and Jardim who come out victorious here in our women's doubles semifinal game. 2023 APP Newport Beach Open. Let's hear from the winners who are on to the winners bracket final. Standing by with Dominic Catalano.
All right, Simone, Parris, first and foremost, congratulations. Moving on to that winner bracket final. Game one, let's start with that. It wasn't from either side of the net the cleanest in an 11-8 victory for you guys. What was the difference and changes you made going into game two?
I mean, I think it's more so the, adapting for us. We had played Alix plenty of times, but had not played Vivian, and just kind of, I was surprised a couple of times when she hit a backhand. I was like, whoa, and so it's just adapting to somebody that you've never seen and kind of getting used to that.
And then talking about that, playing against someone you haven't played against much, Parris, what's the game plan going in against them? What are you looking for?
Yeah, like Simone said, we're just kind of feeling out our opponent, and then we get a game plan together after game one, and then moving into game two, we kind of know what spots to hit and what shots to go for, and just set up the patterns a little better.
All right, well, Jardim and Todd moving on to the winner bracket final, where they will have an opportunity to go to the gold medal match on Sunday and play for a 7th gold medal here on Championship Court at the Newport Beach City Open.